Hey everyone, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce myself in a video format. I am Professor Collins. I will be teaching the Intro to Community Site class, BIS CP 343, this autumn quarter, and I want to welcome you to the class. So welcome, I'm looking forward to the class. I'd like to take a minute just to introduce myself quickly. I have a background in community psychology, and I'm very passionate about community psychology. I love the field, and I'm very excited to teach you guys about the field of community psychology. And particularly if you're community psychology majors, I think you'll hopefully will come away with a lot from this class. I'm originally from Southern California, right outside of LA, a town called San Bernardino. And in San Bernardino, I went to University of California, Riverside, which is actually in Riverside, not in San Bernardino. And after I graduated with my bachelor's from UC Riverside, I went up to Northern California to Chico, Cal State University Chico, and did my master's in psych science. And after doing my master's in psych science, I sort of fell in love with research, but I wanted to do some research that was more around social justice and social change, and I sort of stumbled on community psychology. And it's kind of interesting when you talk to other community psychologists. I think they'll have a similar story where they will just kind of stumble on it. It's not a very well-known field, so you all at UW are very fortunate to have a program or a major in community psychology. So when I found community psychology, I knew I wanted to go to grad school. I knew I wanted to do research in community psychology, so I applied to over a dozen schools, and I got into one of my top choices, Michigan State University. And I recently finished my dissertation looking at social cohesion, bonding social capital, and racial homogeneity within urban neighborhoods, and how that can facilitate community action and collective action. So now I recently finished, like I said, at Michigan State, and now I'm here teaching you all and doing research at UW-Bothell, and it's been a wonderful place so far. To tell you a little bit about myself personally, I grew up, like I said, I grew up in San Bernardino. San Bernardino is a fairly low-income place. I come from a working-class background, and I think that's important because it signifies who I am, and it signifies the research that I do. My research is about community change, and it's about working with marginalized individuals and marginalized communities so that they can empower themselves to create change in their communities. And so looking at my own background, growing up in a fairly violent city, high homicide rates in San Bernardino, a lot of gang activity in San Bernardino, and also growing up working class, it sort of pushed me to where I am now, because now I can look back on that situation and understand the context in which I was raised and how that informed where I am now. So, you know, like I said, this class is really about understanding communities and context, and again, that's why my background is very important, because as I mentioned, the context in which I was raised really informed who I am today and the research that I do. And so in this class, so now to move to sort of a class introduction, this class is about understanding people in context, understanding how communities can influence individuals. So it's really about understanding community psychology, but more importantly, it's about understanding who people are within their own particular context. And so I'm hoping that you'll come away from this course understanding how context influences human behavior, but also have a critical understanding of how systems can create inequity and inequality and injustice, and how our research can help overcome those issues of injustice. So throughout the course, what I really want to do is I want to try to create a an environment of openness and trust among the students as well as between myself and you. And so I'm really going to put myself into this course, and I'm going to talk a lot about personal issues that I've had in my own life, my own biases and my own opinions, and I really hope that you will do the same, and I hope that I can create an environment where you feel comfortable sharing your ideas and sharing your opinions and feeling that there is a sense of trust within the classroom so that you can do that. And also understand that we all are different and we all have our own experiences. My experiences are going to be significantly different than your experiences. And the person sitting next to you, her experiences are going to be significantly different from yours as well. And so I want us to bring all of these experiences into the classroom with us, because these are all valid points of view, these are all valid experiences, and we can all learn from each other and draw on these experiences to inform what we do in the classroom, and to bring greater information and greater experiences into our classroom discussions. So we should all, even though we all might not agree on particular things, we should all respect the variety of points of view that each other has. And even if those points of view don't match our own, it's okay to disagree. And I encourage disagreement, and I encourage discussion. But I encourage it in a respectful way, because, as I mentioned, these are all valid ways of thinking and valid points of view. And most of all, I want you to have fun in the classroom. This course should be challenging, but most of all, it should be interesting and provide a different perspective in how to think about psychology. So anyway, in a nutshell, that's who I am. That's sort of a general overview of the class, and I really hope you enjoy it. I will see you on Tuesday.